My name is Cody McCann. This is the Traditions Shenandoah rifle. Sent for the muzzleloader kit. And this is the paper it's supposed to be showing with. It's got the course name, course number, name, what it is, my name. Put it back here. So working on this, I had a few mishaps. A few of them I think I've corrected pretty well. First I'm going to start by showing you the main thing that I messed up. And that was this inletting job right here for the percussion lock. Now if I get my percussion lock and I bring it over here, it's supposed to be a snug fit. It just kind of goes right in because I shaved off too much right there when I was inletting the first time. Now, these things you see on the inside, I took way too much off on the inside because I wasn't, it completely slipped my mind that these lock plate screw washers and the screw need to be inletted as well. So I had to find something that would fill all the wood that I took off, or else I was going to have to scrap the whole thing. For that, I used this plastic wood professional wood filler. It worked pretty well. It dried super hard. It had to sit. I think it took a 30 to 45 minute sit time, but I would let it go for a day in between just to be sure. After that was done, and I inletted it all back down, you can still see the inletting blue. It's hard to get that off of this. I'm going to go through and fine sand it down to get that off there before I stain it. This stuff will accept stain. Now, another thing that I messed up, as you can see right here, for that rear thimble, I had 2 more holes. I actually drilled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes total, trying to get it right. This is the one that I actually had a countersink tool for, and that's the only one I was able to actually get it in. But as you can see right there, it's still not flush. It's kind of angled up. If you look here, you can see the gap. You can see that gap pretty well. But once it's all assembled, you can't tell that much. I'm just sanding that down. I might actually just get a whole new stock and start over, since now I know what I'm doing. Another thing that I messed up was the barrel tenon holes. You can kind of see where I've had to do a patch job with dowels and epoxy. It's actually not epoxy, that's actually Gorilla Glue wood glue. It worked pretty well, and I used some bamboo skewers to do that, to correct the hole. Another thing that I messed up was these holes here for the end cap. You can tell right there just by looking at it, they're not even. So those have to be fixed. So for this part, for the actual butt stock end, I haven't sanded this down. I haven't completely polished the brass yet because I'm not done sanding this down entirely to the right perfect fitting. Now what I'm gonna do is, I see I've got the trigger guard put in there. It fit in there pretty well. I still removed just a little bit too much right there, but I'm gonna probably put some filler in there and see if I can fix that. The trigger's in there very well. It does work. Now I'm gonna put the percussion lock in now and show you that the hammer actually works. Just set the percussion lock in. Mine sets in very easily because I took too much off. Start with these screws. Now for the C screws, I use the H2 screwdriver, gunsmith screwdriver. It just fits in there pretty well, almost perfectly. I get them started. Once I have them both started, I tighten them down a little bit. And once they're in like that, that's not going anywhere. Now to show you the hammer works. First, put it back to half cock. Set the trigger. And then okay, that's moving. I don't have this tight enough yet. I don't know if that was the half cock. Anyway, half cock's the safety. That was my fault. So, half cock it won't fire. When it's on half cock and you pull the front trigger. Now I've got it reset. I like to keep one here just to kind of ensure that it doesn't just slam down on me. And it just goes right back. Okay. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove this screw so that I can put the ramrod retainer spring back in where it's supposed to be. All you gotta do in doing that is you just pull it out. It's flush with that, and you just gotta. I like to hold this end. It's just gonna swing around, and you make sure that it's gonna fit right in there and back through. And then it's just gonna swing down, hold there. I'm gonna tighten the screw back up so it stays with the locking plate. No chance of it falling out. See, the retainer spring's still in there. That's all in. Next thing I'm going to do and show you before I do, just fix that back in for a second. First go around on the barrel tenons, which is the same thing I did with the holes, is when I messed them up, I also drilled the barrel tenon to where it was just broken. Oh, and I did that on both without realizing that it was doing that. What I ended up doing was I accidentally put the mark just barely too low. That's why you gotta really be precise with these things. Because in order to fix this, I had to completely order 2 new barrel tenons from Traditions. Now when I did them, they came out looking good when I did them. So now I'm going to set this in. Since I got the piece right there, and I'm going to pull this back. This locks in. Put it on half cock. Now when I'm seating my barrel in, it needs to be seated all the way. That is just not good enough because it's still sticking up right there. So what I do is I have this wooden dowel. I set it just behind the retainer hole. vise was tight enough. Start by doing this. Get it set in there. You can see it looks flush with it, but that's just not as far down as it should be. So now I put it in the vise. Take my rod, place it on. Kind of hammer it down just a little bit using the rod so I don't bar the gun barrel so it seats all the way down. Take the pin, this goes down through the stock and actually screws into the trigger assembly to help secure the rear of the barrel. It's not ready yet. I've missed it. Where I've messed this thing up, I've had to figure out the tricks to it, to getting it all together. Now when I drilled the holes, I had it in the vise for the barrel tins. So what I've had to do to get the barrel to sit all the way in, the way it's supposed to be, is I've had to vise it in. I use a 1/8 pin punch. Knock this down in. Not all the way through, and I do the same with the front. That barrel tin's in, it's not going anywhere. Do the same with this one. That's in there, the barrel's not going anywhere. Now, nice down. It's a lot of extra steps, it's just because I've messed it up while learning how to put this, how to build this kit. So now, take the 10 screw, put it in there, tighten it down. Now, for the end cap, since I messed it up, it actually goes on pretty easy. It's just, I need to redo it because only one of them will actually thread. I need to countersink. Right here, this one just kind of goes in there and it doesn't really catch thread. It just kind of, as you rotate it, it just kind of falls into place, but it won't come back out easily anyway. Now for, I got the nipple put in here. Got the plug screw put in. And now besides the finishing and the fine polishing and sanding the rest of this down, what needs to be done is I need to check the shape of the forming front, which that looks pretty even to my eyes anyway. This side probably take a little bit off. Not too much. sights I got put in there, I actually measured exactly for the rear sight to make sure it was perfectly in line with the center. I haven't done any work to the front sight. I'll save that for the sighting in. Now I haven't finished the gun. I haven't put any kind of finish on it or blued around the barrel because I'm not sure which I want to go with, and I'm also not sure if I'm just going to scrap the stock and buy a new one. That way I don't have all these little mishaps on it. So the butt plate, check it's almost down to where it needs to be, to where I would like it to be. And then right here, I kind of messed that up too. See, it doesn't really meet evenly. But I'll show you again that the lock mechanism works. Put it on half cock, sets the trigger, doesn't fire. That's the safety. Full cock, it does. Half cock, set the trigger, doesn't fire. Full cock, set the trigger. Full cock, set the trigger. It doesn't fire. It does fire. Half cock, set, doesn't. Set the trigger, pull it on full cock. It works. I haven't test fired it because obviously I'm not really comfortable with trying to shoot at this one in the state that it is right now, because I mean, I got this lock mechanism, this percussion lock that's all messed up, the bedding and seating area of it, the inletting that I messed up. I think it would probably, I know it would shoot, and I'm not worried about it blowing up on me. I don't like it the way it is. For the ramrod, I got it right here. Show you that it passes through there. The only time it gets to resistance is when it gets to the retainer spring. Right there is where it gets to the retainer spring. And what I do is just, I know this is wrong too, but anyway, it passes through there. So that's that. Now I messed up quite a few things on it, but I am learning. I feel like I learned a lot finishing this, putting it all together and working on it. I'm definitely not the best out there. This is my first actual gun build ever. I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the opportunity. And I look forward to doing more like this and getting a lot more practice in this area. So that's it. Once again, my name is Cody McCann. This is FCT 130-5740, Customizing and Woodworking, Muzzleloader Lab. And by the way, here's the rear thimble that I messed up. I had to order a new rear thimble because I messed this one up, and I couldn't figure out a way that I could have fixed it at the time. But now looking back, I could have just basically did what I did with this one when I messed it up and tried drilling holes here and here, possibly up here. Don't really want to do that because it kind of tilt back, so you want kind of in the center. But you live and you learn. Anyway, that's it.